Semen retention. Destroy sexual impotence now. Hello world, Son of the Soul here, ready to shine some light. How you feeling today? How you breathing today? Today I'm going to be talking to you about sexual impotence and the power behind reversing this imbalance. Now, honestly, I made quite a few videos on semen retention, and personally, it's a really big topic. It's very important. I think it's very important for everybody to understand sexual energy and the way we use it on a day-to-day basis. Like you have no idea, like when it comes to semen retention, man, like you have no idea how, I can't even put into words how important it is for you as a man and as a woman too, right? To learn how to manage your sexual energy. Obviously, if I'm talking about semen, I'm talking about men mostly, but in regards to everybody, it's important we understand sexual energy and manage it accordingly so we can be fully functioning human beings. Now, one thing I want to make clear is that society has made sex into a transaction. It's become popular in that retrospect. See, the thing with sexual energy and pleasure is that they've both been tied together. And what we need to realize is that pleasure comes very easy when you have a reproductive system. See, the fascinating thing about pleasure, right? Sexual pleasure is that we are sexual beings, right? So we live, we are born, we live, we reproduce, we die, born, live, reproduce, die, and we're pushing the generation forward. And the incentive to do that is the pleasure. It is the sexual pleasure, the sexual energy behind incentivizing human beings to replicate, to reproduce. Now more than ever, people aren't thinking of it in regards to just making babies, right? It's pleasure to just have pleasure. And I definitely understand that too, right? But when you are not managing it, see, somebody else is going to be managing it for you. So society is under this spell, this cycle that's incentivizing men to have sex just to have sex, to ejaculate. And the problem with that is the main function of sex was to reproduce, right? And that needs to be respected. So we definitely need to pay attention to how we manage that process if we're not even going to have kids. Now, semen is the process of the body creating semen is so much. It needs over 200 vitamins and minerals, different proteins. 200 different types of proteins, vitamins, minerals. It needs phosphorus, it needs calcium, zinc, vitamin C. It needs all these vitamins and minerals, right? Just to produce sperm. Now, it is automated for your body to produce sperm. You don't tell it to do that, it does it on its own. So the problem with that is when you don't have the best diet, right? Like when your diet isn't good, where you don't have a whole bunch of nutrients, if it isn't nutrient dense, right? If you don't have your zinc, if you don't have your vitamin C, your B6, your phosphorus, calcium, when you don't have these minerals at hand for the body to use to produce sperm, what it does is it strips the body of anything remaining, and it uses that to continue on. So when you are ejaculating excessively, you are putting your body in a very compromised position, right? That it needs to strip out all the magnesium, right, from our skin just to produce the sperm. So now our skin is dry, our hair is dry, we look tired, low energy. This is what excessive ejaculating is. You understand? And the drive behind that is pleasure. See, we have the porn industry, right, encouraging men to ejaculate, and it's taking away their energy. From an energetic sense, and a emotional sense, physical sense, it is stripping away at the man. So when you excessively ejaculate because of these external factors like porn, right, and sexually explicit content that drives you to want to go in the corner and go fat, to go jerk off, then we lead to the imbalance of sexual impotence. Now we can't have sex when it really counts. Like, you meet up with a chick and everything is good, you're vibing with her good, you take her home, and then you can't get it up because you've been desensitizing yourself because of all of these external factors. Now, the power behind withholding sex, right? Withholding jacking off, per se. When you manage that, right? When you decide to hold in that energy and you take that somewhere else and do something productive with it, with that energy, you are recycling the materials that were going to be used if you had ejaculated. If you ejaculated. Now, that is powerful because when you recycle this energy, right, you get this buildup and you become more sexually in touch with your feelings and with other people as well. And this is what cures the imbalance, the hormonal imbalance of sexual impotence, man. If you're watching porn and you see a big butt and you're used to seeing big butts and you get aroused by seeing big butts, if you go out in the real world and the butt isn't big enough, you're not going to get as aroused. And that actually chips away at your performance. It chips away at your confidence, right? See, I've had a situation like that where I met up with a chick, good vibes, everything, took her home, and it just didn't get up. And it was almost like just remembering that instance, I'm like, damn, I'm like rolling dice now. I hope I roll a good number. I hope I roll something good. Hopefully it gets up. Hopefully it works. And the thing is, once we become aware of what drives us sexually and we manage that properly, the performance will speak for itself, man. Semen retention is the way to go, man, to withhold yourself, right? To find ways to get your dopamine hits from, right? Because it's all dopamine driven. Sex is dopamine driven. The anticipation behind getting pleasure, that is what pulls people into ejaculating so much. And this needs to be encouraged, man. The emotional, physical health, the mental health behind sex is not being taught as much as it should. It's barely being taught at all, because there's so much that's in the media that's being sexualized that we just, it's just normal. It just looks, it will look normal, right? You have a lot of people who think it's actually pretty normal to just, watch a little bit of porn here and there. But see, that is the perception that is given to us. You understand? That's besides our biological powers. It needs to be recognized. It needs to be respected. Hold your seed so you can finally grow into a fully functional human being. So you can be confident, so you can strive for your goals, so you can put yourself first, so you can find pleasure and joy in putting yourself first and not having to rely on the quick fix. Stay bright.